Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have here two articles talking about volunteers, foreign volunteers, who were killed or injured in the fight against Russia on the Ukrainian side. I said it many times before. We will hear more about foreign volunteers being killed, eliminated, or wounded on the Ukrainian side, and they will be speaking other languages than Ukrainian. So let's start with this first article coming from Ukrainska Pravda, and we have here two Lithuanian volunteers receive injuries near Bakhmut. So 7th of April 2023, two citizens of Lithuania serving in the International Defense Legion of Ukraine were injured during hostilities. Were they military personnel from Lithuania or just volunteer, just picked up their shit and moved to Ukraine to fight the Russians? I think the second option. Lithuanian media, LRT, citing the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania, said this, and I'm quoting, "According to the information available to the Lithuanian ambassador to Ukraine, Valdemar Sarapin, two injured Lithuanians are being treated in a hospital in the city of Dnipro," the ministry said in a statement. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania notes that the ministry and the embassy are ready to provide all the necessary assistance, for example, regarding the relocation of wounded Lithuanians, and diplomats are clarifying their condition. Later, the agency clarified that one Lithuanian received minor injuries and has been discharged from the hospital and returned to his unit. The other underwent surgery and is still in hospital in moderate condition. According to the latest information, he will be transferred to Kiev. And I'm quoting, "The ambassador is in touch and will provide all the necessary assistance to the military," end quote, because they're involved in war, obviously. The spokesperson of the head of the Lithuanian Foreign Ministry said, according to LRT, both Lithuanian volunteers were fighting as part of the International Defense Legion of Ukraine and were wounded near the city of Bakhmut, Donetsk Oblast, of course. And we are little fish, then we're just gonna gulp this little lure. Yeah, all right, move on. Ukrainska Pravda, from the same date of April 7th, 2023. Another soldier from Georgia killed in Ukraine. Number of fallen Georgians exceeds 40. Arsen Katsbaya, a native of the Georgian city of Zugdidi, has been killed in the war in Ukraine. In recent years, Katsbaya lived in Ukraine and served in its armed forces, the publication details. The circumstances of his death are not reported. This is the fourth report since the beginning of April about the death of a Georgian fighter in Ukraine. So in April, already 4 died. As I said, more of these guys, and I'm waiting for other ones speaking, I don't know, Anglo-Saxon dialects, and maybe French too. On 1st of April, it became known about the death of a 29-year-old Mikhail Mazanashvili, originally from Gori municipality. 2 days later, another guy and another guy were reported to be killed near Bakhmut. And another guy was 32 years old, native of the village of blah blah blah. And another 44-year-old was one of the 24 Georgian volunteers, including in last year's April list of the investigative committee of the Russian Federation. Thus, since 24 February 2022, more than 40 Georgian soldiers, Georgian citizens, and natives of Georgia who have had Ukrainian citizenship have been killed in the war while fighting on the side of the armed forces of Ukraine. Well, good for you, I guess. You go and do what you love to do. Remember, you defend Ukraine from the how do you call it, unprovoked invasion of the Russian military, and accidents, I guess, happened. I mean, you go to war, it's expected that you will be shot at. I'm waiting for those guys that will will come from the so-called, how do you call them, the storm brigade or something. I call them the storm troopers. When the 40,000 people, and I'm also waiting for the guys who are supposedly trained in, how should I put it, in the countries that are involved in this war in Europe. Those guys that are trained in different countries. That's about 40,000 or so. So there will be about 80,000 people showing up all of a sudden during the counteroffensive that Ukraine supposedly will conduct sometime soon. That's it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.